Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.
Honey, I'm home. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you ready? I'm ready. It's going to be a good night tonight. Pretty stoked, actually. Looking forward to it. Waiting for all my friends to arrive. Can you dig it? It's good to be alive, folks. Yeah, love you too. It's good to be alive. I like life. I really do. I really do. I care. Anyway, how the hell is everybody? Sunday night, June 28th. Yeah, I dig it too. Hey, man. Look, I can actually see you. Chevy. Long time no see, though. I mean, I see you, but I don't really see you. You know what I mean? Anyway. Tonight, we better start watch partying the hell out of this show. It's going to be a great show tonight. I'm psyched. Lots to talk about with a very special person. Tonight. This is show number 73, by the way. Keep on climbing. I love the consistency. Nothing can stop us now. Anyway, a couple of things I want to do before I call up tonight. Oh, yeah. Tonight I'm going to be talking to Mr. P.J. Schrantz from AmericaStrongUSA.org.com. I'm going to say it real quick now, and then I'm going to say it again in a few minutes. PJ's a retired Army veteran, retired New York City fireman, first responder from 9/11. Yes, he was in Ground Zero. He served his country many times in many ways, and he's still doing it. And I'm going to have him on the phone. He's going to tell his story. Hey, man. Paul. And then he's going to tell you what he's doing currently to make this world a better place, to help. And we can actually do our part, too. But anyway, first things first. Watch parties. I need everybody to hit that share button. Go to the share button, and if it pulls up and it says, hey, do you want to start a watch party? Start a watch party. And you can do this anytime. You can do this anytime when the shows are being rerun, whenever you come across the show, whenever you want to watch the show, you can do this anytime. Watch parties are the key, folks. This is what's making us grow. I can't even keep track of the numbers because of the watch parties. And people say, well, how many people are watching? It's like, I don't care. I just know they're watching. I'm going to do watch party myself right now, so hang on. All right. Yeah. Look, I'm even liking myself. Okay, there I am. Still getting the swing of things. We've added on. Things are continually changing this year. So we're doing a couple of new things, but I'm trying to be able to read what people are saying a lot more. Hi, Peter. How are we this evening? We're great, Gwen. Watch parties, baby. That's what it's all about. And then I'm going to tell you how I'm here and why I'm here. Oh, I see. There's a delay, huh? That's okay. So the watch parties are the key, so I want everybody to just get set up, and if you don't see the watch party, because Facebook's weird, sometimes you go to share the show and it says, hey, start a watch party, and sometimes you go to do it and it doesn't allow you, but then just hit the share button. PJ Schrantz is all about first responders, healthcare workers, law enforcement, our military. He's all about that, and that's what he's going to talk about tonight. But first, I could not be here to talk about this stuff if it wasn't, that's right, for my beloved Bolt Energy. Here's the kicker. I was thinking about this a few minutes ago. They know me. They've known me for several years now. And they're still sponsoring me. They still sponsor me. So, I mean, I gotta say, I love them to death. That's like, it's like having the special needs, guy and saying, you know what, we support you. Hi, my name's Peter. Yeah. The Bolt Energy. Why Bolt Energy? No preservatives, folks. Go find that in another energy drink. You can't. And I just saw the camera go into stall for a second. I hope it didn't, because we're trying out new stuff. I hate guinea pigging, but the only way you can do it is when you're live. Anyway, Bolt Energy. Go out and ask for Bolt Energy. If you can't find Bolt Energy, go to www.drinkboltenergy and say, hey, Bolt Energy people, where can I find this magical mystery energy drink you speak of? It's a cleaner energy drink. These guys are workout fanatics, and that's the whole thing. They just tried to make it a better energy drink. Wow, people are going crazy. I'm watching all the screens. Lighten them up, people. I love it. But I like Bolt Energy, and number one, why I like Bolt Energy, it tastes good. I can't drink anything that tastes like shit. I just won't have it. And I'm not a coffee drinker. So this just gives me enough of a little kick in the butt. You don't get all jittery, and you do the stuff you're supposed to be doing. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop open a can. I got to go this way now because they moved the computers to that side. Ah, love that sound. Is the music too loud? I'm kind of digging it, but salute, Bolt Energy. Oh. I don't know, just bring something out of me. Yeah. All right, how we doing here? Oh, I see I got Michelle on the line too, healthcare worker. I know you're pro-healthcare because you are a healthcare worker. Then stick with the show. Tonight's going to be a great show. I'm not taking calls, though, so don't get all pissed off at me. I want to hear what PJ's got to say. And believe me, we had a little pre-interview and we were on the phone for a long time, and there's going to be a lot to talk about. Oh, yeah. All right, so thank you, Bolt Energy, for believing in me and keeping me right here on my own show. I was thinking about it. I'm kind of like a, compared to like Costco, if I was a store, I'm like a mom and pop store. But they got good quality stuff. But we just, we're go up against the big box stores. I want to be a big box store. I just need some big pockets. Deep. I know how to have fun. Just need to, just need to grow into it. Anyway, also today is a very good friend of mine who's been on this show several times. He's an East Coast Baltimore legend, Mr. Bob Paff, who's been on this show. He was on a few weeks ago. It's Bob Paff's 60th birthday. Yes, 60. Can you believe that shit? I mean, I hate it because I'm watching the years fly by real quick, and it's like I was talking to this 19-year-old kid today, and I thought he was in his mid-20s, but he was 19. And I just start cracking up because you know what it was like to be 19. Life's a breeze, even though you think it's why is life got to be so hard. Oh. And I just, laughed at him. Because shit, you have no idea what ass aches you're going to encounter in life. But on the other hand, it's good to be alive, right? Anyway, you guys are more than welcome to comment, but the best thing you can do for me is you can share the shows. Hit the share buttons, people. Spread the word, because these are the kind of shows that you have no idea the people in your inner circle need to hear. People go through problems, they got nobody to talk to, and you have no idea that sometimes you're sharing something from your life, and people go, wow, I thought it was just me, and you have no idea how many people just are that closed-minded to where they think only their world is upside down. Everybody's got ass aches. Everybody. I'm telling you. So when you share stories, your story, you have no idea that when you're sharing it, how many people you might be helping and don't even know it. And that's what I'm all about. Because I love everybody. Love brings me back to last week's show, Father's Day. Love, overwhelming. Mother's Day, Father's Day. I don't care. We should be loving every day. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? I have my moments where I get pissed off, and I do sometimes, in my past, I do things and say things that maybe I should have held off on. But at the end of the day, now I'm growing older and wiser. It's all about love. Just love. Take a deep breath before you bark. That was advice given to me by a close friend of mine that has stuck in my mind only over the past couple of years. Ooh, we're running out of time. All right, so Bob Path's 60th birthday. That's a man that loves, too. He's very passionate. He's got a radio show in Baltimore, and he's been on the show, and it's his 60th birthday, and I just wanted to say, happy birthday, Bob Path. Yeah, I see the watch. Now, look, you guys can show it. I see the watch parties. Make it happen. Let's go, people. Make it grow. Tonight's that night. I'm just feeling it. All right? And everybody wish Bob Path a happy birthday, too. He's a good man. He comes on every time I asked him. He came on years ago when I was cutting my teeth, experimenting. And we talked. He's got a path, of a past. Everybody, if you grow old enough, you have things in your life, good and bad. And he was willing to open up and talk about them. And, you got to give somebody credit for the guts to just say, yeah, this is what happens to life. But you know what? We're still here. And believe me, he's had some tragedies. Speaking of tragedies, music a little high. Thank you, Paul. Doesn't know why it's so high tonight. There you go. Lowering it. Shit. Should pay attention to my stuff. Anyway, all right. I'm going to give PJ Schrantz a call. Don't forget, wish Bob Paff a happy birthday. Just put in a little note. Happy birthday, Bob Paff. Paff. Mouse. Sorry. I feel giddy. Not like a teenager. Anyway, okay. We're going to give him a call and we're going to see what's going on. Music a little hot. Son of a bitch. Why didn't anybody else tell me that? Okay, let's give him a call and see what's going on, and then we'll talk more about other stuff. But again, share these shows. People keep coming on. Say, hey, we're sharing the show. We're doing watch parties, all right? Be that person. Because I'm that guy. It's all about love. Let's give PJ a call. One ringy dingy.
Hey, Peter, how are you?
PJ Schrantz. You hear me okay?
I hear you loud and clear, brother.
All right, hang on one second. Ladies and gentlemen, my 3 or 3 million, whichever it may be, I have Mr. PJ Schrantz on the line, who... We're on the East Coast, so there's a several-hour difference going on. And last week we had a little flaw in the system, but believe me, you're not the first. And everybody says, why don't you do your show earlier? It's like, I wish it was that simple. And a lot of people say, Peter, I got to go to bed. But the good thing is that even though you're on this show and you stayed up and I got you now, that this show regurgitates through the week. It's on demand, and all your friends who say that they got to go to bed, they can watch this show anytime they want. All they got to do is go to the page and find it and just hit it and play it. So
that's great to know.
Yeah, we won't lose you. All right, PJ Schrantz. I was telling people that, on the pre-interview when I called you several weeks ago, that we just started and the conversation just took off like lightning, as if we were longtime friends and talking like it was, very easy to talk. And
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so this is what I'm going to do. We're going to start over again, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say, I want you to tell me, just give me a little background. Give my people some background on where you came from, what you did, and where you're at now.
All right, not a problem. I will give the elevator pitch.
Okay. Take your time. I'm here all night. Take your time.
Not to bore your viewers.
All right.
But first of all, I just want to say thank you. Very grateful for the opportunity, Peter.
Oh.
I truly am.
Dude, it's all good.
Anytime I get to speak about my partner, John Legge, our mission and what we're about, it's an honor. It truly is.
Yeah.
We're out to make an impact, and so far, the results have been pretty amazing. But as for me, I'm just a regular guy from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. Growing up, I always aspired to be a New York City fireman. My dad's best friend, my godfather, Bill Wren, he retired a lieutenant from the New York City Fire Department. When my godfather retired, he ended up, taking a job as head of fire safety for the Twin Towers, and he was killed on 9/11.
Wow.
And yeah, I was there, but believe me when I tell you, 4 guys from my former firehouse lost their lives. True heroes.
Right.
The 343 firemen that were killed that day, true heroes. The many firemen that weren't, and police officers, and even civilians. They sacrificed so much that day and for weeks leading on and months afterwards. All heroes. As for me, no, not a hero. Not even the slightest. Before I became a fireman, I served in the Army. Not a hero there at all. I'm a family member of a hero. My brother-in-law Tim is his youngest brother Jay, someone who's my idol, somebody I knew since I was a teenager. He was a member of SEAL Team 6, and he was killed in Afghanistan. That's a hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but whoa, let me hit you off right here.
Yeah.
The thing is, you joined up. There's consequence. Like, here's the problem I had with, like, the 90s and stuff. A lot of people joined the military because it was something to do, and then all of a sudden Desert Storm came into play, and I heard a lot of people going, shit, now, man, I don't want to go to war and this and that. But, I mean, when you sign up for something like that, there's always the possibility of having to really, really serve. That's the whole point. So maybe you didn't do something, but you're there. Doesn't that stands for something? Don't.
Oh, no. I couldn't agree more with that. There are many people. You don't enlist unless you're ready to go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't do it on a whim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When I'm in airports, everybody's like, "Thank you for serving," and stuff like, when I'm walking by military, because they're there. If we need them, they're there. Just because I get it, the hero part, but they're, I give them props because that you don't know who the next hero is.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, believe me when I tell you, I'm the biggest supporter of our military, our first responders, our frontliners.
Yeah.
Especially during this COVID.
Yeah.
The COVID-19 is like, this pandemic really turned the world upside down. I get it.
Sure.
But before I even go there, my story, and the reason I not that I downplay it, I see my history as for what it was. Okay. And now, I was at Ground Zero on 9/11. And at that time, my firstborn son, Dustin, was at home and he was battling leukemia. So although I was at Ground Zero amongst the carnage and, it really didn't know if the world was ending because there was no television or radio. There was no lights even. You know what I mean? It was crazy times.
Right.
But, my heart was at home. My son was dying of leukemia.
Right.
And my son, he did die. He died in my arms when he was 7 years old.
Wow. And
I went into a really dark place, brother. Really dark place. I wanted to die. I was trained to save lives.
Right.
So, that's why when I say, definitely not a hero, I promise you, I definitely am not a hero. I'm just a man trying to be a better man today than I was yesterday, because yesterday I wasn't a good man even. You know what I mean? Okay. It's like I'm a Christian and I know I'm going to die a sinner, but I want to have an impact.
Right.
So, my partner John and I, we have a for-profit business, and it's called United First Responders Brands Incorporated. And we want to be impactful. And let me tell you something, even our for-profit business, we wanted to make sure that what people recognize our company for is representative of what the country is today. And this is very important to us, because with the division in our country going on today, it's like we want to unify our country. That is so important to John and I, my wife Kathleen and John's wife Gwen,
right,
and our team. Our team, MJ, Dan, and Chris. We have a small team. We're making an impact. But visually, we wanted to. When people looked at our brands, they would know that, okay, this is what they're about. So we decided we weren't going to have an eagle. We weren't going to have an American flag, but we wanted something that would be, as soon as you see it, you recognize America.
Right.
So we took the image of Mount Rushmore, and we eliminated not, and there's intent, of course. Instead of having the presidents carved in granite,
Uh-huh.
we have a black police officer. We have a Latino soldier. We have an Asian nurse, and we have a white fireman. Representative of America.
Sure.
Okay? So that's something for profit. But our nonprofit, which we have these, and thank you for promoting this. We have these yellow wristbands, those silicone wristbands, and I wore one of them for years to honor my son Dustin when Lance Armstrong had the Live Strong bands. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
Well, I wore one for years to honor my son.
Right.
So what we decided to do was we wanted to raise money. We wanted to honor COVID-19 heroes, first of all. Wanted to raise money for COVID-19 worthy charities, which we vet. And the way we're going to do this, and the way we've been doing it, we have a wristband challenge. We ask people to go to, AmericaStrongUSA.org and purchase a yellow wristband for themselves, and then purchase the second one, and then gift that to their COVID-19 hero, right?
Right.
Videotape it, take a picture, put it on their social media, and then ask their friends to take the challenge. Okay?
Gotcha.
And then what ended up happening was that was all good and great, and then George Floyd was murdered.
Yeah, everything went to hell.
And the thing is this, I mean, think about this, brother. I ran into burning buildings for a living. Do you think that I stood outside wondering if somebody was black, white, yellow, green, pink?
No.
Of course not. Of course not. So when I watched that video, it really hurt me. It did something to me, and I remember I cried. I mean, it hit me hard, and I remember speaking to John, and my partner John was like, "Yeah, of course we have to do something now for social justice, but it has to be, in educating the young. Everything's for the young,
right?
I think you know what I mean.
Yes, absolutely.
So to move the ball forward, here we are. I'm in Miami Beach. John flew in from LA, and we had a kickoff party 2 days ago, and it was at AmericaStrongUSA.org kickoff party in Miami Beach, and it was great. Besides having a party, which was attended by like Evander Holyfield, former heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
We had 3-time NBA champion with the Miami Heat, Mark Strickland, attended. The place was crowded. It was a potpourri of people, every nationality, every race. It was amazing. And during the party, we took time out, and my wife co-hosted, along with Professor Patrick Wesley Glover, a roundtable discussion on social justice.
Right.
And my wife, Kathleen, was a teacher and administrator for 20 years in the inner city in Connecticut. And here it was. She was, NBA star Mark Strickland, 2 very famous DJs, LS1 and Mad Links, and Professor Glover, and my wife. And my wife was a white woman, Dr. Kathleen Green, my wife. She was co-hosting with Professor Glover, and she was the white female, and it was so impactful. I mean, they were speaking from their hearts about, not just, it wasn't always about the problem, it's about what do we do for the solution.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it's about unity, brother. To me, it's not rocket science. It truly isn't.
It isn't, but you see how everybody got riled up, and and I know, and most people know that majority of the people in the world, or not the world, let's just keep it to the United States for right now,
right?
But are decent people. And you let a couple of bad apples, and then before you know it, everybody sucks. And that's what's driving me nuts. And you're right, education is the key, because if you're raising a child and you only teach him to speak a certain language, that's all he knows. If you teach a child to hate, that's all they know. And education is the key.
I couldn't agree more. John John and I and our company and our charity, we're in agreement with that as well. Racism. I just look at kids playing in the park.
Yeah.
And they don't see color. They don't see anything.
No.
So whatever it is, it's taught at home.
Yeah.
But when people are put in a box, as my wife likes to say, don't put me in a box. Meaning, like, we cannot say that, because believe me, I'm a guy, I knew nothing about white privilege. What the heck is white privilege? I mean, I'm born and raised in South Brooklyn.
All right.
There was no privilege by anybody. But, the bottom line is this. There is racism. Racism goes every which way, though, too.
Yeah.
But you want to know something? There has to be changes made, obviously.
Sure.
I think most people are loving, caring people. I'm always going to believe that. I believe that life's cup is half full, not half empty. And I just think that, we're in a position that we could spread love and spread the unity. And the country needs it right now. I mean, the news is out of control. It's almost like they're trying to sell it for headlines.
Sure, absolutely.
And, instead of, spreading the darkness, let's all start to shed the light. Let's it's like I said in the beginning, I don't think it's a difficult thing to overcome. There are bad apples in every demographic, whether it be cops, firemen, civilians.
Sure.
There are, but like you mentioned, as a whole, by and large, people are good.
Question for you.
Yes.
Defunding the police.
No. Well, that's ludicrous.
I know it is, but you see what's going on?
Yes, I do.
I don't get it. I mean, they are pulling cops out of, college campuses and things like that. It's like, it's all good and well until you need them.
Well, the way I look at it is this, it's going to be a social experiment. They're going to get their way. People are going to get their way. And I'm just afraid of what the results are going to be because I know what the results will be.
Bad people are going to cash in on this kind of crap.
Of course. But, the thing is this, getting back to, that's why we're about unity. What we do, we are not political. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seriously, not at all. We want to, it's so easy to shed light. And, I get inspired, believe it or not. We could get angry looking at Facebook posts, or we could get find posts that inspire us.
Yeah.
Because they're out there. You know what I mean? I choose to find the ones that inspire me to be a better person. I think that maybe shut off the news for a day. Maybe shut off the news for a week. I say hello to everybody down on the street. It's tough. It's really tough right now. And now with the, if they're saying the COVID's going to spike again.
I know.
And now what's going to happen? People are going to be locked inside even more.
Do you believe it? I mean, I believe it's real, but do you believe that it's this bad, or it's just? I think they're testing more people, so it's just obvious that more that it's out there. But I don't know whether they're trying to sink this ship before the elections. I don't know what the hell's going on. But, it's crazy.
It's common sense that. Politics is involved.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I do.
It's both sides.
Can't wait.
And one's gonna downplay it. One's gonna push it to the extreme. And that's just the way it is. That's the game.
That's a shitty game.
So
I'm sick of this game.
And it's the game. And I'm tired of it. I think most Americans are tired of it.
Absolutely. Just
really, really tired of it. Let's get back to a unified nation, because a United States is by far the greatest country on the planet.
No doubt.
Bar none. Bar none.
Sure.
And see, there's a difference between this COVID pandemic and when we were attacked on 9/11. See, on 9/11, that actually unified our country.
Right.
Because we were attacked by people, foreign terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
This COVID-19 just hit throughout the country, but it was an unseen enemy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So who do you blame? Who do we blame for that?
That's a good question. I mean, they're pointing fingers, but which one do you believe?
Well, and that's why, I respect everybody's position. I respect everybody's, what party affiliation they have. I mean, I was raised by Kennedy Democrats, for crying out loud, and I support the president. I'm like an enigma.
It was different back then.
Yeah, but for me, I'm fiscally conservative. I'm socially liberal. That's just who I am.
You just want the right person for the right job anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. But there's ways to have an impact. I know that my partner John and our team and our wives, we want to have a positive impact. Like I don't want to engage in political banter because people are just zoned in on what they're zoned in on. Yeah. Everybody puts up walls. Nobody wants to hear another side. There can't be another side. But I'll tell you what, I've never met anybody that doesn't love to be hugged. I've never met anybody that doesn't like to be smiled at or say hello to.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I do.
I've never met, of course. And, we all have opportunities every day. Like for me, I'm telling you, brother, I promise you this. The only thing that truly makes my soul feel good is helping somebody else, and that is in greater need than I may be. You know me? Somebody that's less fortunate than me, if I could help them out in one which way, shape, or form,
right?
For me, you can't buy that feeling. So when we're doing and we're having an impact, and all you got to do is go to the website.
Which is?
It's AmericaStrongUSA.org. And for $5, you make an impact. All proceeds go to this charity. All proceeds go to worthy causes. Not a dime goes in our pockets. Not a dime.
Wow.
And the thing is this: it's impactful, and we have across the board. We have every color, we have blacks, whites, brown skinned people. We're all engaging in the betterment of our country.
Yeah, like the way it should be.
There's no one taking sides. It's the human side. It's, we're patriots. We love our country. And I'll tell you what, if we don't do something soon, I don't know if we'll ever pull back. The division is going to be so strong that I don't know how we're going to recover.
It's a drag. It's a drag what's going on, and the news is amplifying. This is what they thrive on. It's really shitty that our own people are just helping to make everything a disaster. It just, I don't know. I'm just dumbfounded by this whole thing. It's depressing.
And you know what it is, too? The internet and social media, they're great tools. They are. But there are people out there and entities and businesses and foreign countries and the both sides in politics. They spread misinformation, disinformation, anything that will better their chances of their agenda.
Sure.
And now, to me, that's almost criminal to me. You know what I mean? Wow, do you see what's going on? Rome is burning down around us. And yet we're still feeding fuel onto the fire.
Yep.
It blows me away. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
I just, I just want to, we want to have an impact. How about this? I'm a 57-year-old white guy. My partner John's, right, we're same ways. He's just a white guy from California. And here we are at this party 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And we're hugging Evander Holyfield. These DJs, this. No one at this kickoff party saw color.
Right.
Everything. We were all there loving the evening, laughing, listening to music, having an impactful roundtable discussion. And it was a beautiful, beautiful evening. And believe it or not, I think our country was like that not even 6 months ago.
Yeah, but PJ, nobody shows the good stuff. They're only showing the bad stuff and making it like it's, you know what I mean? There's pockets of it. Nobody cares to show the good stuff that's going on. They're only showing the tragedies and making it even worse by throwing more gas on the fire.
I get that, brother, but you want to know something? Not everybody's doing that. Look at you right now.
I'm
the
not.
P to
Yeah.
G, the P to G show right now is shining a light on something that is positive.
Dude, I'm all about love, period. I talk about it day in, day out. You know, I used to make fun of Ringo Starr because he was always peace and love. You know what I mean? I honestly understand it now. I really do.
Right. You know, and this is another reason why we're very grateful and thankful for this interview, because, you know, it's like whatever the news cycle is, you know, who is going to outdo who?
Yeah.
Like what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's more shocking that we could put on the news? Why does shocking have to be the flavor of news?
Well,
like right now, I promise you, you know, I'm hoping that some of your viewers may get inspired by a guy, a knucklehead from Brooklyn, New York, who wanted to die. Literally was in a hotel room at one point with a loaded pistol, a quart of Jack Daniels, a case of Heineken, cocaine, and cursing God, wanting to die, to turning his life into trying to just help out and make a difference. If we can inspire people with what we're doing to do the next right thing, let them pick whatever they want to do. I don't care if they hold open a door for somebody at a store tomorrow. It's making a difference.
That's a good thing. A lot of people don't do that. I still do that stuff. I mean,
I was raised right.
That's the way we were raised. Exactly. Here we go. That's the way we were raised.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a great point. That's exactly right.
You get what you put into it.
No question about it.
I have a 14-year-old, and believe me, I gave up everything, you know, what little I had to make sure, because I'm divorced, and that's the whole purpose how I ended up here. I was bitching about divorcing and how my world burned down, kind of. You know, it was very troubling to me. And then I realized, you know, there's a lot of people, their lives fell apart. But everything was about my daughter, because I wanted to make sure she was raised with both a mother and a father, if possible. And we both love her very much. And that's how you raise somebody. And some people aren't that lucky. They don't have a mother or a father. But it's all about love. It's whoever's in your life to teach.
Right. And that's something that, you know, right now I'm in a hotel room in Miami Beach, and my wife is next to me, and my wife
was a case of Heineken and a quart of Jack.
No. Actually, I had a flavored seltzer next to me.
I'm kidding.
But you know, my wife Kathleen, Dr. Kathleen Green, PhD, and she worked in the inner cities in Waterbury, Connecticut for 20 years. Yeah. And you know, she's seen it all there, and she saw kids and grown so close to these inner city kids, and saw the talent and you know, through hardships that these kids have in these inner cities, a lot of them, tremendous hardships, but yet she saw magical, beautiful souls and talent, and changed her life. She's the first person to say changed her life big time. And you know, this is what we need to do as adults. We need to nurture the young, you know, because either they're going to learn to love it or they're going to learn to hate. It's going to be one or the other. Definitely.
And you know, just because the flower starts to die doesn't mean you can't nurture it back to health.
100%, I believe that.
Well, let's talk. Let me just. I want to back it up a little bit, because you know, I'm doing this, but this is what I do again, because my whole thing is about sharing stories. My show, you know, is on a peso budget, but I share stories because I have no professional opinion. I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy who's gone through enough life, and you kind of learn. I think that, you know, wisdom and age and stuff has a lot to be said. You can learn how to fix something and don't have to have a degree. And so I'm just sharing these stories. But you, my friend, have been on you're on my little podunk show here, which I just I kind of compared it to compared from a Costco big box store. I'm kind of like a mom and pop store. But you have been on some major shows. You've been around a lot of major people promoting the stuff. How long have you been promoting America Strong? And tell my people, like some of the people who've had you on the show, because you've been on a lot of great shows and been around a lot of great people.
Well, you know, like I said, after my son died, and I went into a dark place, and I got out. Charitable endeavors have been my driving force in life. Yeah, you get an opportunity when you do something for someone, and like the Today Show would pick it up, or CBS Evening News, and they would different things that I've done. Uh, I met my partner John Leggy through his wife Gwen, and it was happenstance. It was had what we thought the introduction wasn't what Gwen and I had thought it would be, because I had met Gwen before I met my partner John,
Right.
and it had nothing to do with where we are now. But then months passed in between corresponding with Gwen. We thought it was like a nothing burger.
How long ago?
From what she presented had something to do with T-shirts, and because John has trademarks for America Strong. That's an amazing brand. I mean, America Strong.
Yes.
And it but it stuck with me, and at the time it just didn't work out. But in the back of my head, America Strong, America Strong. And the way the country was going, I'm like, there's something here.
Yeah.
And then it just morphed a few ideas, a couple of conversations. I remember the phone call. I said, Gwen, it's time that, John and I speak. And, and before you knew it, I think it was like the first conversation we had, and this whole thing was birthed. And, like I said, if you do the right thing and your motives are pure, amazing doors open up. Amazing doors.
It's not easy, though. I mean, everybody, there's a lot of people that try and do something, and it's not easy.
Well, the thing is this. Doors open and God places you. I'm a God guy.
Yeah.
I want to see my son again. I'm
Right-
going to see
right
my
there
son
with you.
again.
Right there with you.
So, God had me in a place at one time where I had a circumstance where I persuaded a homeless, drug-addicted veteran not to jump off a bridge, and he was going to kill himself. And that ended up getting on the internet. And Donald Trump, him or someone in his team, saw it on the internet. And this was back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing you know, days later, I got a personal invitation by then Donald J. Trump, before he was president, to spend election night at Mar-a-Lago as his personal guest.
Get out.
So then, oh yeah, and
Election night.
Election night.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
election night.
Huge.
And and then I got to meet amazing people. The members of Mar-a-Lago, and I've been part of Trump-Pence presidential motorcades. Just amazing things happen. And then all of a sudden you're in D.C. and I'm meeting every congressman and senators, both sides of the aisle, because I don't care. I don't care who I'm talking to.
Right.
I'm here.
I get it.
I'm taking action. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have.
Yeah.
There's nothing you have that I want nor I need. But I have some veterans that need something.
Right.
Are you going to help me or you're not going to help me?
Right.
Or whatever the mission is at that time. And then when people realize that, wow, this guy really doesn't care who I am, then you get invited into their circles because there's nothing that they have that I want nor need.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
and then
they cared enough. They cared enough to keep you in the loop.
Oh, forget it. Oh my gosh, there's just too much to even. Sometimes I sit back, my wife and I, and we look at each other and we go, "Can you believe who we're just with?" Well, can you believe that people that have asked us to be part of this or part of that, and it's mind-boggling but there are good people out there, and they know that they want to help us fulfill this mission, whatever the mission is.
Right.
Like right now with what we're doing with AmericaStrongUSA.org, there are many people. Like, you think it's very easy to get like Evander Holyfield to show up to your party?
I don't know.
I mean,
what
no,
night was it?
It's not an easy thing.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
know.
an easy thing to
Sure.
get NBA's guys in the NBA that won 3 NBA championships to your party when they don't even know who the heck you are.
Right, sure, no doubt.
But then they all of a sudden they hear from people that they do know about. They'll say, "Oh, I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know what he's about. This is
Yeah.
what he's about." And then all of a sudden they want to be part of it.
Right.
And then once they're part of it, then their friends want to be part of it. And now all of a sudden we're snowballing. And how about this? My partner John and I, tomorrow we have a call. And I think I don't know what time the call is. We've had a few calls but we're partnering with an original member of Shark Tank. His name is Kevin Harrington.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Harrington created QVC TV and
Sure.
As Seen on TV. And
Right.
I mean, how the heck does that happen to a knucklehead from Brooklyn and his partner John? I mean, just think about this. It's almost like it's Providence.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, seriously, I mean, the guy's probably got more money in his front pocket than I made in my lifetime.
Sure.
But he's the nicest guy. And he's met with my wife and I for lunch a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew what we were doing back then. And he told my wife, and he says, we're gonna be doing business one day together. He told me, he goes, you have an entrepreneurial mind. He goes, he knew 2 years ago. And then here we are 2 years later. And who the hell am I that a guy like Kevin Harrington would even think about something like that? It's not even thinking about it. He loves what John and I are doing. He absolutely loves it. Him and his team, they can't wait.
Right.
Because it's business with a purpose. We're going to have an impact.
Gotcha. I mean, some of the shows. I mean, you were Joe Rogan. I think you were on Joe Rogan's show. Am I correct? Feed me. If
I've never been interviewed by Joe. No, I've never been interviewed by Joe.
Okay,
but,
wrong information. My bad.
Yeah, no. But yeah, like the Today Show twice.
Uh-huh.
CBS Evening News. I don't know if you know Glenn Beck is, but I was on his show several times.
Yes.
Just a whole bunch. But it's not about me. It was never about me.
No, but it's about what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
It's
not about me.
Not about me either. I just happen to be the puppet head that has to do it. You know what I mean? I got to be the voice.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I'm a pit bull.
Yeah.
I promise you I am a pit bull when I go after something. So I remember I was doing some charitable, had a charity I started several years ago. And to honor my son, Dustin, we wanted to help cops, firemen, and military with critically ill children because that's what I lived. That was my personal life's experience. And I knew the hell of it all.
Sure.
So the most mind-boggling thing is this, brother. I had a hard time. I would research online, say in different states. Say, I would Google, a cop with a sick child. And every time I'd reach out to a first responder or a military person that had a critically ill child, and I'm talking like, the child's going to die if they're lucky, very lucky if they will survive.
Right.
And every single one of them I'd say, this is who I am. I never told them my story because I didn't want them to, they have a critically ill kid. I didn't want to say, my son died. I wanted to give them hope. And none of them, every one of them would say, no, I'm okay. I'm good. And I'd be like, hey, brother, no, you're not. I walked in your shoes. Don't even tell me you're okay. I know what the costs are. My son's medical bills are over $1 million for crying out loud. I know what it's about. And I remember there was a police officer, Mark Stanwitzky, and he had an 18-month-old son. And at first he just said, no. His son's name was Jake, and he had like a neuroblastoma. And one day I got a phone call. I was filming a commercial for my charity at the time, and the phone rang, and I saw it was his name. And I was paying, I forget how much money per hour at this thing to film.
Right.
And it's like, I got to take this call.
Sure.
And he was on the phone with me, just, crying and telling me all this stuff. I was on the phone with him for a couple of hours, and he was telling me that the hospitals here in the States told him that his son's ready to die, he's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, PJ, he said, I know you offered me help. He said, but I researched I'm sorry, I'm going to get a little choked up here.
All right.
He said, I found a hospital in Germany. He said, but the police department doesn't, my coverage isn't going to cover it.
Right.
And I said, how much money do you need? And it was like $150K at the time. Just you need to get over there and all this stuff. And
Sure.
I just said, consider it done. Well, I'm going to make it happen. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make it happen.
Right.
When do you need to go? And what I did was I ended up calling. I seen in the newspaper before this phone call about this guy, William Callip. He's a Texas oilman whose dad went to school with John F. Kennedy. And this billionaire oilman bought John F. Kennedy's presidential yacht. It was called the Honey Fitz. And he bought it at auction. 3 presidents used this yacht. And he bought it at auction for, I forget how much money, but he dumped millions into it to get it exactly like it was when Kennedy had it.
Stupid money.
And I'm telling you, I'm a pit bull. I reached out to his secretary. I told her the story. I must have been crying, like blubbering away. And this guy calls me up like the next day. He said, listen, you tell me when you want to use it. You could do a Boston Harbor cruise with it and raise the money for that family. And we did. And it was amazing. And a friend of mine who works for Glenn Beck, her name's Tara Setmeyer. She's on CNN. She's a dear friend of mine, and she brought a big fat check from Glenn Beck, and it was amazing. And long story short, he ended up being able to bring Jake to Germany and getting treated there. And Jake ended up passing away, but he ended up and that's it. When I went to the wake, him and his wife hugged me and said, "Thank you for giving us 9 more months with our son."
Sure.
And it's stuff like that drives me every day. Every day.
I get it. I mean, I'd love to say that I can imagine, but I can't. I mean, even though just like before I had my daughter, people say, I tell people, wow, when she came out, everything just changed internally in me. And people say, like, I can imagine. And I used to say I can imagine, but when things like this happen to you, it is more than I can imagine. It is a million times deeper, and I don't expect anybody to understand unless you understand, even though they understand, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes 100%. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. Every person that I know in my whole life, we all have hurt and pain. We've all lost people.
Sure.
I have friends that grew up in really bad households. I have friends that have this pain. I have friends that disabled. I have friends that this. Every single person I know, we all know. We all felt that pain. Some of us are going through great pain now. There are people I know that have, elderly parents who are ill, and that weighs heavy on their heart, right?
Sure. Hard.
So to turn that pain, though, to turn it around into a positive for me was and will continue to be for the rest of my damn life. I know this. Like, there's no other way that I can live my life unless I'm doing something positive. I have to have, it sounds cliche, but I have to have a purposeful, driven life. I have to have it. Right. Otherwise, I don't want to live it. No, I don't want to live it. For what?
I get it. It's your self-worth, and I get that. Again, I knew I had to do something, but I didn't have a whole lot to offer, and all I could do is I knew I could kind of entertain or at least carry the ball. And I said, well, if with the grace of God and people coming on brave enough to share stories in order to help somebody through your own story, to say you're not alone. Right.
And what I've seen is we have the most impact. Like I tell people all the time, I'm like, you have to be tested to testify.
Yeah.
So when you testify and can look at, for me, if I could look at my life and talk about my life's experiences openly and honestly, the good, the bad, and the very, very ugly, you know, it is what it is. This is what I've done. This is when I lived in my dark world, it was dark, really, really dark. And when it changed and when it's good and when it has purpose, you know, life is great. You know, we could all wallow in misery. All you have to do is watch the damn news and it's going to stress you out.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, having a little impact on somebody's life,
one
you
at
know,
a time.
it brings a smile to our own face.
No, absolutely. It's like reaching people one at a time. You can't help everybody, but I'm telling you, even with my little thing here, if one person comes out and says, "Wow, thank you," and they do, you know, it's like, and I don't do nothing. I'm just like the moderator. But the thing is, just like the story you're sharing right now, you know, the good thing about it is, again, this story will live on. This show isn't just going to go away. It's going to be up on YouTube. It'll be on LinkedIn in a day or so. It'll be on Instagram. There'll be clips going on to Instagram. And if you can affect one person, to me, it's like I feel like it was worth everything that we did just to do it, and it lives on. It just doesn't go away. It's in, you know, roaming the internet, and I was telling you,
Right.
on demand. But just crossing paths, hoping this story crosses the path of many. To, you know, I don't know what this will bring you, but tomorrow.
Oh, it's not about. See, this is another thing, brother. This is why I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
I promise you this. This is why I'm very grateful, and you're a humble man, and you know, we're very grateful. John and I are very grateful for this opportunity. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is this interview tonight is not the reason why we're doing this interview tonight. I promise you, I don't know when it's going to be, but it's something that's going to be bigger and better than what either one of us could have imagined, because maybe this interview changes somebody's life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I do.
And if that is the case, even if we never even hear about it, who cares?
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It was impactful.
Right. And that's,
you know,
what it's all about. I mean, again, I get a lot of people like, what do your numbers look like? It's like, I don't care. I don't know, and I don't care.
I could care less about numbers.
I know they're out there, and I have a lot.
Yeah, don't ever weigh yourself with that, because believe me when I tell you, I know people. I know a lot of people in national press and media. Yeah. I mean, I know the biggest names, know them personally, and I know people that started out with getting 24 views, 20 views, 70 views. And now they're 2 million plus.
Yeah.
And brother, I promise you this: it's coming your way.
Well, it's to me, it's like I don't jump off of buildings and do anything crazy to get the crazy stuff. But the people I do have are real, and that's all that matters to me. You know, they're real and they're faithful. And they you know, and that's all that and again, unfortunately, I chose Facebook to be like a TV channel. That's why Gwen, she's like, hey, can't you do the show earlier, because, you know, it's really late on the East Coast. And I said, Gwen, I can't, it's live. And she thought that it was just live on Facebook, but it's live at a certain time every day of the week consistently. So you're like tuning in, you know, 8:30 on a Sunday night or 11:30 on a Sunday night, there's Peter. And I said, I can't just change it. You know, I said, I'm hoping that, you know, he can stay.
You don't want to change it, brother. You want to know something? Consistency and remaining genuine and true to yourself and your vision should be number one.
Well, it is. I just, at that point when we picked but the problem is with Facebook, they're so, they own, you know, they do what they want to do, and numbers are so, like the watch party. If you're doing a watch party, I can't see if you have 400 people watching you or 4.
Right.
So it's irrelevant. The numbers don't add up, but I know that people are watching, so I don't worry about it. And all I want to do is bring people on to share something compelling in order to help somebody, to remind them that, like, you know what, you're not the only one who's ever, it's not, you know, rocket pioneering. Believe me when we tell you, again, you're not alone. And I'm sharing your story to hope that somebody's picking this up. Plus, you're trying to help people that are, in the battlefields, so to speak, with this, America Strong thing. But, you had to go through what you had to go through to get where you're going.
100%. And you want to know something? I know that John and Gwen are watching and listening, and you want to know something?
Yeah.
We're gonna. I tell people all the time I can never speak for my partner John, but I promise she'd be on board with this.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing something out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
We're gonna do just like we did here in Miami Beach.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it on the West Coast. I have a big Rolodex out there. John and Gwen have a big Rolodex out there, and we're gonna do something, and we're gonna make sure that it falls in line for the timetable. We'll do it on a Sunday night. And we'll let you do your show live from our West Coast kickoff party.
I'm all in.
That would be fantastic.
Sure
would. I would love it. I know John and Gwen would love it. We are grateful for this opportunity, and I do want to tell your viewers again. Please, go to AmericaStrongUSA.org and take the challenge. It's a wristband challenge, self-explanatory on the website. John created an amazing website.
Uh-huh.
Pay attention to the details of that website. Navigate it.
Right.
John built that thing from scratch. It's a great. No, seriously, it is a great website. But if we take the challenge, it's you go grassroots. If I take the challenge, put it on my social media, ask my friends to do it. They take the challenge, get their friends to do it. Before you know it, this challenge turns into a movement.
Right.
And when you have a movement, we can unify the country again. I promise you that.
Well, I can guarantee you that the people I reach are the good ones, because the ones who don't give a shit, they're not going to pay attention to me, So
right.
So the people that I do have will pay attention. I am going to touch base on this not only tonight, but I'll touch base on it on future shows. Gwen already, we already spoke. I'm got a couple of wristbands coming so I can show everybody, and I'm going to challenge people to make this happen again, because it's not every day that I get something like this. Although there's so much going on in the world, it's just it's just hard to find everybody. And I think Gwen sought me out. I think she found me.
Gwen's a little bulldog too. Believe me, she's a little marketer. Believe me, she's going after it.
And you know what? God bless her, because
that's right.
Otherwise, we would not be talking here. And I'm totally in. I get it, and this is what I'm all about. I just do things a little differently. I do pay a lot of attention to people who are struggling through divorces and stuff like that, because you end up breaking yourself under the table. You got young kids that depend on you, all different. But yeah, it's they're so similar yet so different. You know what I mean? Problems are problems, and you can
I've been there, done that.
There you go, self-destruct. You know what I mean? And I'm all about the kids and our future. And I got a daughter that I want people to play well with. And
that's right.
I'm scared for the future. It's just gone to hell.
See, that's why what we're doing at AmericaStrongUSA.org is it falls right in line with what you're talking about. Believe me, because we're all about educating the young. It's 6 degrees of separation, brother.
Yeah.
Believe me when I tell you, it's that in a nutshell. As much as people think that we're different, we're so much alike. We're so, we all know somebody that knows somebody.
Right.
And we're all tied together. And in this country, like I said it earlier, a United States of America is by far the greatest country in the world.
No doubt.
And we better protect our constitutional republic. Or we're in really. I'm old. I'll be long gone. But one day, if we don't protect it now, America is going to be. The America we love now is going to go the way of the dinosaur.
Everything's getting oversensitive. Watch what you say. This person, this general, is offensive. It's like, don't erase history. Learn from it.
Learn from it. That's right. Learn from it. Love each other. Be the light when you have a chance. Take the high road. Don't take the low road. Don't put people in boxes. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Let's kill everybody with kindness.
It's again a lot of work to be done because everything's being poisoned right now. But we will see the light here soon. If we keep doing this. But do me a favor. Tell everybody one more time how they can get. How long has this organization been together? How long have you been doing this?
Oh, well, John and I, the America Strong USA and United First Responders brands, we're less than 3 months into this.
Right.
And the first, probably 6 weeks into the America Strong. And let me tell you something. We have more celebrities and pro athletes going to be coming up this week, and you're going to start seeing it all over Instagram.
Yeah.
Because we have a very famous friend of ours is a very famous Hollywood agent. His name is Darren Prince, and Darren is the agent for Magic Johnson and Shaquille O'Neal, Dennis Rodman, Mike Tyson, Charlie Sheen,
right,
Vince Neil, the Motley Crue,
sure,
you name it. Yeah, down. And this week coming up, he's going to start getting his clients, going to start taking the challenge,
right,
putting it on their Instagram.
All right.
So keep an eye out, brother. Okay?
Count me in. I mean, I'm in. Again, I just. But here's what got me so much. It's like you guys have come out of the gate strong.
America Strong.
Okay, you said it. You said it. And so this is what really floored me. I go, wow. From nothing to that again, I've had to scratch and crawl all the way up to get, to where I'm going. And it's like, I know that you've been doing all this kind of stuff, your past has led you to where you're at now, but the America Strong thing, it just feels like it's been around for a long time because it's such a great, it just says it all.
It does say it all. And John, my partner John, had such vision when he got that first trademark.
Yeah.
And it's led to many and most every single trademark now. So yeah. Believe me, we're just at the very beginning of something national. Well, and like I said, we really appreciate the opportunity tonight, brother.
It's all good. Count me in 100%. Now tell everybody one more time how to get to where you need them to see what's going on to take the challenge.
Yeah, please, everybody out there, please go to AmericaStrongUSA.org and take the Unity Wristband Challenge. It's very easy. Go to the website, follow the instructions, and make a difference.
Yeah, I truly believe if you start the Instagram thing and they start doing like little TikTok videos or Instagram and all that,
exactly,
that's going to be awesome. And believe me, I'll join in. You tell me what you need me to do. I'm 100% right there. I just, there's only so many hours in the day, and I pick and choose what I want to do. But I'm in with it, right there with you.
Thank you so much, brother.
It's all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you have a great night.
Hang on one second. You're not getting off that easy. Let me just say so. Tonight, I've had PJ Schrantz from AmericaStrong.org telling his story, and I want everybody to join in. Go to the website, AmericaStrong.org. And
America Strong USA.
USA, I'm sorry. I got the picture I have that I'm staring at right now. It's the wristband. It doesn't have the USA part on it, so I was mimicking what I wasn't reading. My apologies. AmericaStrongUSA.org. And I'm going to put that up. I'll fix it when we do the promos through the week. But go and check out what PJ's going on. It's for not only a good cause, it's a great cause. It's our world we're investing in. So, and our people we're investing in. And PJ, I appreciate you staying up. I know it's really late over there. It's a problem I have. I was going to bring you on visually. We were talking about doing, because everybody's doing the Zoom interviews and all that.
Right.
We'll just take a rain check, because when it gets this late at night, I try to. A lot of people turn me down, and I go, listen, you could be in your pajamas 11:30 at night. You're just on the phone. You can go to bed.
That's right.
So I just figured it'd be easier and less things to go wrong. But I have a feeling that this is not the end of us, and I hope it's not.
No, it is not. I
hope it's just the very, very beginning, and there's a whole lot of stuff getting ready to happen. But again, we all do by reaching our hands out and saying, I'll help. I'm here to help. So,
Thank you very much,
I'm
brother.
here to help.
Thank
All
you
right.
for having me on.
Thank you for being on, and for your people for being in communication with me, and and trying so we can put this thing together. And again, it's not rocket science, but you'd be surprised how many things can go wrong, even on this little event here. But I appreciate it very much. So we'll talk down the road. And again, thank you so much. This show will not finish. It just keeps on living on. So take the pieces all you want and use it to your advantage. And I'm going to be again down the road with the wristbands. I'm there for you. Just tell me what you need me to do.
Thank you, brother. Have a great night.
All right, love you. Peace.
Love you too.
All
Bye.
right, see you later. There you have it. Huh? PJ Schrantz, AmericaStrongUSA.org. Go check out his website. Lousy couple of dollars, get a few wristbands and give them to people. You watch, you mark my word right now. This is going to take off like wildfire. Remember the ALS challenge for ALS and ice bucket challenges and all that kind of stuff? This guy's not going to let this thing go, be small. You're going to watch this show and go, son of a bitch. Peter G was right. It's going to go viral. And you can say you heard it all here first, folks. Promise you. I work really hard in my own weird way to do what we do. I thought there was people in the room. And every once in a while, like I said, you get, your hard work pays off, because I'm out there seeking people to do-gooders, people who care about what's going on in life, to bring to the table some stuff of worth. And right here, PJ Schrantz, again, right place at the right time, I don't know. If I never got up out of bed and didn't put the effort in, will I be talking to him? I don't know. Doubt it. I can easily tell you that as he told his story about how all of a sudden all these people came into his world and things just started taking off. I work hard. I struggle. There's no doubt about it. I have to make that extra effort every week, every day. And I'm tired at times, but I don't mind, because I know I have a good cause. Help make a good cause a great cause by participating. I'm going to push this thing, okay? Speaking of good causes, I could not be here if it wasn't because of Bolt Energy. Electrify your senses. These guys work their asses off too. This is what keeps me going when I need it, because I don't drink coffee. Just to keep me, I'm telling you, last night I got to bed at 2:30 a.m. We were working on the show for today. It just up at, 8 o'clock in the morning, going again. Nobody sees that stuff. Whole nother story. But Bolt Energy, ask for it in stores. If you can't find it, go to www.drinkboltenergy and ask them where you can find it. They're growing. They're not everywhere, but they can be if you keep asking the stores and things like that. That's how it all works. Word of mouth. Guys talk. Word gets around. You hear things. Tastes great. No preservatives. All right. I'm already over time. Hope everybody's sharing. Watch parties, all that fun stuff, okay? And one thing I want to talk about, I'm going to make this quick. Try to, anyway. Exactly 22 years ago today, on a Sunday, I was out. Actually, I was recording for 2 weeks with a Scandinavian artist. And I had some motorcycle riding buddies. I'm going to tell you a story, because this is a big deal. I was gone for 2 weeks because I was recording with some friends and a Scandinavian artist that they flew in. He was a singer-songwriter, and I was working with some people, and I ended up dropping off after 2 weeks of, like you work in the studio and then we're having dinner and then we're drinking at night. I mean, just in the Swedes, the Norwegians, they drink a lot, and I couldn't keep up, but I had to be in the mix. At the end of the 2 weeks, it was a Sunday. It was June 28th on a Sunday. I take him to LAX and drop him off. He's flying back home. I drop him off in the mid-afternoon, and it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon out. I end up going home, and I'm dead tired, and I rode motorcycles a lot on Sundays if I was around. I had a couple of friends I was very close with, and I've had some of the greatest Sundays of my life riding motorcycles out here in Southern California where the weather's great. And I said, should I go and jump on my bike knowing I knew where they were going to be around a certain time, or should I just stay home? And the not want to sit home part of me said, get on your bike and go catch up with your friends. And I did. And I caught up with a couple of guys that I've rode with religiously. I've had some of the greatest Sundays of my life in Southern California riding motorcycles at the time. Still true, some of the greatest Sundays. That night, as we were going home, I got separated because my bike started running out of gas, and by the time I hit reserve and everything, we got separated because there was some traffic. Well, that night at 10:40 p.m., one of my buddies crashed and died. Actually, both my buddies crashed because one went into another one. Shit happens real fast. And I was oblivious and kept on riding. Had no idea it's nighttime. You're focused on what's in front of you because everything behind you is like dark and you only see little dots and lights. And I was several lanes over, and I was actually ahead of them because they got caught up in traffic in the slow lanes. I lost a guy. Let's just put it this way. Who I admired and loved very much. He was a good friend. He was a giver. He never asked for anything. And although you grow in life and you lose people in your life and family, it all hurts. Don't get me wrong. But for some reason, this guy just impacted me. I don't know why, but it just did. Now, we've all, again, you grow old enough, you're going to lose lots of people you love. And it was a really bad Sunday night that night. It led into the morning. My other friends survived. By the time I went back in the hospitals, and it was just a real rough night. One of the hardest in my life. And believe me, I've had some hard nights, hard days of my life. Well, he died on this night, and we got to know his family. They lived down in San Diego, and we got real close. I got real close to where I was sending his parents Mother's Day cards, Easter cards, Father's Day cards, Christmas cards. And I would sign it, your adopted son, Peter G., because they were the sweetest people. And you saw that the apple didn't fall far from the tree. So anyway, here we are 22 years later, and I kept this up. We'd go visit them. We'd bring a gang of people, on two times out of the year. 4th of July weekend, because it was about the time when he crashed. And we go on a Sunday, and we go Thanksgiving, the weekend after Thanksgiving, because his birthday was on November 28th. And she'd cook for us, and bring whoever you want. And we'd bring a dozen people. We'd raise hell. She'd bake 2 turkeys, cook 2 turkeys, the whole deal. Full house. She just loved it because she was surrounded with people who loved him. And that was her son. So tonight, anyway, I say this. Why do you say this? And I talk about all this stuff. Because we all lose people in life, You remember them as I remember him. And many people. And but tonight it just happens to be a Sunday night, and although I'm not, and my friend who survived, I'll be calling him in an hour, because we used to get together, whether as we got older. After about 10 years of going down there, his mama passed away, and his father's very old now. He's 97 years old. His father is, but we got busy. We started having kids. I had a child. My buddy had some kids, and life got complicated, and it got harder to go down there to keep the consistency. But we did it for 10 or 12 years. And now I put a phone call into his brother to see how his father's doing, because he's in a memory care center, and, it's just life changes. It's like the love is still there. It's just hard, where it's a constant hustle. But the memories are still there. The love is still there. And love is really, once again, here I go circling around. He may not be here, but I'm telling you, he's here a lot. Love your friends, because you don't know when you're going to be gone, when they're going to be gone. It sucks. It would have altered things. I don't know how things would have been had he still been alive, but, he was like a nucleus. Very quiet guy. He was a giver, though. It never let me do nothing for him. I was only able to do it after he passed away to help his parents in some ways, because I just felt awful, and somebody had to do it. There was a lot of things. He lived here, they didn't know anything. They lived in San Diego. So at this time, in an hour from now, at 10:40, no matter, even if we weren't in San Diego, we'd try to get together and do a shot for our friend. But these past several years, I'm hustling, started this show, can't do it. So I pre-shotted myself just for you people, and I will call him. Now, I'm not looking for an excuse to drink, but I just want you to know how important friendship is, at least to me, and it should be to you. I know people have a lot of acquaintances, but they don't have friends. I think it's sometimes sad, but all you have to do is open up. You know what I mean? Don't expect people to, don't wait for somebody to do something for you. Do it for them, or just be a decent human being. So, it's 9:49. I'm going to do a shot for my friend Greg Day, who I love and miss very much, who affected the way I grew here in Los Angeles. He showed me things and took me out places on Sundays. He was just like the ringleader of when we were out on motorcycles. And I've had some great times just hanging out, people watching, riding from Orange counties to wherever the hell we were, and it impacted me very much. And again, so this is for my friend Greg Day, who 22 years ago, which is mind-blowing, 22 years ago. May God rest his soul and his memory be eternal, just like all the people you've lost in life. Ugh. I gotta do that again. I gotta call my friend. It's just important to me, you know? I love people. I love my friends. I hate losing people. Even though that's like, a lot of people say, hey, you know, that's the evolution of life. I get it. And they might be better off than we are. But I'm just greedy. I love everybody, and I love you guys. Every Sunday night, I want you to help me show that we made an impact tonight. AmericaStrongUSA.org. Let's make this happen. This isn't the end. This is actually the beginning. Things happen for a reason. I truly believe in that stuff, good and bad. Sometimes when the bad goes, you say, why me? Why me? Why is this happening? There's a big picture somewhere sometimes, and we won't know until we know. I hate it, though, you know? My friends or family had to leave. I pray that I'll be able to see them again. I do believe. So, that's it. I love you guys. I want to see you here next week. Next week's 4th of July weekend. You know, I know a lot of you guys are going to be all burned down, although COVID's changed a lot of things. Hey, just a reminder, anybody who's been texting me on my personal phone, and believe it or not, I do have a lot of people that know my phone number. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. If you haven't heard from me, it's because my phone is so screwed up right now. It goes in, it goes out. I'm having to check things from computers until I change phones over. I've just been too busy. So if I haven't gotten back to you, I'm sorry. Okay? That's it. Just making that a public service announcement. Do your part, people. AmericaStrongUSA.org. Sorry. And this isn't over with. We're just starting this. But go check out their website. Let's do this. Let's get an early jump on it. It'll make me feel good, and I know you'll feel good, too. Appreciate everybody who's been watching. Next week, I have a feeling Pepsi's coming into town. I have no idea if he's going to be around for Sunday's show, but if Pepsi is, believe it or not, we'll have him on the show. And God save us all, okay? I'll say it for the 15th time. I love you very much. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed PJ Schrantz. And again, I thank PJ Schrantz for opening up and being honest, because we're all just humans, and that's just life, okay? From me here and everybody at the show, with this COVID thing, it's really narrowed things down. See you next week. Like and share, people. Share watch parties. The clips run all through the week. I can't ask enough. That's all you can do for me, by sharing. You're making a difference. I promise you, you are. You're helping people you don't even know you're helping. So, let's do this. Peace out. See you later.
G-Show, Peter G-Show, Peter G-Show, Peter G-Show, divorced dad, single